Well, we got to get on out here and get back at it. Sun's starting to get up in the sky. Temperature's getting steamy. Well, it's 78, but when we started this morning, it was 66. Hey, and you may see many changes are on the horizon here on the back lawn. Yep, they surely are. A lot of changes, and there'll be many more to come. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about with all of y'all today. I wanted to talk about what it takes to get her done. Oh, well, hello there again, friends and family. Good to see you this morning. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by because I need the help, as you may have saw walking in. Yeah, we were hard at it late yesterday afternoon after we got Alice all taken care of. Went out for a little bit of joyriding, but as soon as that sun got a little bit lower and past the house where this area was seeing a little bit of shade, we had to get motivated, and that's what we want to talk about today. And that brings up the sponsors of this episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood, and those words are determination, you might say self-determination too, and perseverance. Yeah, without those two words in your life's toolbox or in that there back pocket on your hip, you don't get ahead in life. You don't get things done. And that's exactly what we've been doing here on our little piece of paradise in the deep south of Alabama. Little by little, with determination and perseverance, each minute of each hour of each day, large projects seem to vanish away right before our eyes. And if I wasn't documenting them for myself, my children, and my grandchildren, and now all of you, my friends and family, I would hardly even remember them in a year or two, just how it was, unless I could look back and see where it all started one day. So for those of you who've been with me for quite some time, or even a little while, you'll know what this place looked like here. Yeah, it had all this here invasive Chinese privet growing. And within that, there started to be some hackberry trees sprouting up. See right here? Yep, hackberries have berries. We don't eat them, but the birds do. And they do the same with the Chinese privet. It has berries, which are coming on this time of year. And the birds eat them, and of course, spread them and deposit them wherever they're sitting at. Yeah, just like we do. And then there's some wild grape growing in there. See the vine? So it got to be quite a mess. And not to mention, we got the remnants of our debris pile that's been there for about 6 years, slowly rotting down. Of course, we burned it down one time, I think it was in 2018, and then we built it back up and never got around to burning it down again. Just sort of let it slowly rot until it produced some very nice ground. But it's got to be finally taken care of too, because we got plans for this area. But you can see all the Chinese privet, the grapevines that were all entangled in it, they're all cut down. Yeah, by one little old man and 4 kitties, you might say. And here's a pecan tree that had popped up sometime last spring and was growing quite vigorously. And you might want to say, well, Mr. Tom, you should have saved that pecan tree. That came from one of your pecans. Yes, indeed it did. But I've got 3, and they supply me with more than enough pecans. For what I plan on using this space for, I didn't need a pecan tree slap in the middle of it. No, I did not. This is going away too. And this is just the old timbers that James and I took down. Oh gosh. Whew, over 10 years ago. We meant to do a bunch of raised beds with them and other structures, but life intervened and we never got around to it. For a while there, we lost that coin, you know, the round to it coin. Maybe you got one sitting on a shelf like I do. But yeah, you can see some of that privet over the course of a year, it grows quite large in a single season. It's extremely invasive and extremely hard to control. Yeah, I've been cutting these down for now what? Over 5-6 years, maybe longer. And then I get preoccupied, get doing something else, and before I know it, I turn around and they're right back. Oh, it just never stops. And you can see here why I wanted to get them down. See all the berries starting to form? There will literally be millions of berries just on this small bunch of Chinese privet. But they're down now, and we're going to keep them down this time. We'll burn on top of each stump. Even though the U.S. Forestry Service has tried controlled burns, and that has failed, they just come and sprout from the roots and the stumps with even more bigger. So what they do is they come through, cut them out, burn them out, and then they control them with brush killer. I'm not at that point, but it may come to that. But I'm going to try to leave the brush killer out, at least for now. And before the day was done, the kitty crew decided they wanted to plant. And of course we had, at least 12 celebrity tomatoes, 6 of which they recently picked up at Superfoods. They were new, and you can see them up here. 4 of them in this first row, and 2 of them in the second row. And it wasn't too hard. The kitties dug the holes. The old man slipped the celebrity tomato plants out, and we didn't amend the holes at all. I figured with this rich black dirt that's been sitting there, with everything, all the sticks, pine cones, twigs, branches, bark, and what have you, I've been stacking up there for the last 5 years. It was all slowly decomposing and composting, making some really fine dirt, not to mention all the leaves and everything else that fell in it. Yeah, over those 5 years. You can see the dirt's just as black, and it's that there, favorite dirt, that there sandy loam everybody seems to strive for. And look at all that organic matter content. You got to have that too. And I'll tell you what, when the kitties were digging these holes, there were earthworms galore. The big ones, the big old earthworms, and the red wigglers. There were a ton of them. So the soil is alive. But they got 6 of them planted, with my help. And we had 6 that we bought back the first week of March that had got about nearly 3 feet tall. We stuck 2 of them, one of which is right here, and you can see it looks a lot different than these here. Not so many branches. And we got another one right here. And I didn't lay them down. I didn't dig a hole to China, because they were over 2 feet tall. What I did, I dug a fairly larger hole, as you can see, and I took the plant. Now it was deep too, about a foot deep. I set it down in it, and then I coiled the plant in a lazy coil all the way up to the ground surface, and then backfilled on top of that spiral coil of tomato plant. Yeah. So instead of digging a trench, I dug a hole and just coiled it like a big coil spring. Backfilled it in. It'll root all along that stem. It'll have one massive root ball come fall, if they survive. But I'm thinking they will. Kitty crew thought so too. But yeah, I just couldn't wait, or nor could they, to get this ground planted, since it's so luscious and dark, deep, rich soil. But I should have waited just a few days. I could have burnt this in place. Now, I'm gonna have to tote it to my other burn place. Because if I fire it up there, just the radiant heat will wipe out the Kitty Crew's new tomato garden. Of course, I'm thinking it's gonna be a pepper garden here real soon too. At least that's what I saw. Cleo and Spooky and Speedy planning. They had out their garden journal and was mapping it out yesterday evening. Of course, they were quick to fold it up and put it away when they saw me coming. You know, it's kitty secrets. They don't share. So yeah, see, it only takes two things. In your mind, of course, it does take a body that can do it. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't go very long. I go about 5 or 10 minutes, and I just stop. And I rest. And then I might go 5, 10, 15 minutes more, and then I stop. I rest. I catch my breath. And I'm going to tell you what, Herbie ain't too far away. Just inside the door in the den. And I don't have any elaborate tools, nor do I need them. Well, so please don't send none. What I've done all the clearing on this place for the last 2-3 years is, well, I got my nice hand pruners. Y'all seen my big lopers or loppers. And I think it was last year in the winter, I got this, a reciprocating saw. And I got another one. It's really, really old, but it's got a cord on it. Yeah, the cord's been cut at least once or twice. Yeah, it's getting a little long in the tooth, so I got me one of these here newfangled cordless ones, you know, from the fine folks at Black & Decker. Yeah, comes with a lithium battery, 20-volt max, and this thing is jam up. And it's what cut down all that Chinese privet, hackberry and grapevines right there. It also is what I used along with the hand printers and the loppers to start clearing that back property line. It was also used to clear that north side of the shop. And it was used for the same things last year. And I think I gave then for this here fine tool, oh, I think it was, what, $69.99? Came with one battery and a charger. Got another charger and some more batteries, because I tend to go for longer than one battery will take me. And of course, you need some fine gloves. Yep, don't worry. You need some nice fine leather ones or whatever you got. And I've had some gloves sent to me, and they're in reserve till these wear out. But you'll probably see them on another episode. But that's all it takes, some simple tools. And I was doing it even before I got this. And I do got a gas chainsaw and 2 electrics. But you know, the old man, his muscle tone and hand strength is getting a little bit weaker. Or maybe a lot more weaker than what it was in my youth. So I looked for a tool that I could keep a hold of a whole lot better. And that reciprocating saw is a lot easier to hold on to than any of my chainsaws are. Yeah, I really love chainsaws. I love the way they sound. That reciprocating saw right there just doesn't have that whine. Doesn't play the music of the chain like a chainsaw does. Hey, if you've heard them and you've used them, you know what I mean. Right, guys? Yeah, and gals. But this is what it took. But even before I had that, I still got her done with a hand saw, loppers, and hand pruners too. Yeah, at one time when I first moved in, that's all I had. And yeah, of course, now I had my son and my daughter too. And we got her done. It just took longer. But you can see, just as we've been talking, the sun's now hid behind the clouds. They're saying rain's coming. So you know what that means? We got to get moving and get this all out to where we can get her all put away. And yeah, It'll all get burned up one day. But today is not that day. We've been busy at it, but hey, don't be fooled. It don't all get done in 1 hour or a few. We just keep gnawing at it. Minute by minute, quarter hour and half hour at a time. And when, it suits us, and we know we've given all we can give, and it doesn't make any sense to go any further on, we call it a day. We pack up our stuff and we go on inside. We enjoy some fresh O2 and a cold drink as well. But I just wanted to share with you what we had going on. I wanted you to think about those two words, determination and perseverance. Yeah, we tend to get a little low on them. It's sort of like a gas tank. We get down to 3/4 full, half full, then we're quarter full, and we're running on empty. And as you get longer than two, older that is, that tank gets a lot less emptier than it used to be in our youth. But we can still kick it up a notch. We can stop in for a refill. All we gotta do is ask the right person above. He'll help us out when we need it most. And with that, y'all, I'm gonna have to run, because rain's coming on, as I said. I can feel it in the air. And I got plenty more to do before that happens. So hey, if you don't mind, I got extra gloves in the carport. We can all get this here done, stacked up before it gets all so wet and we don't even want to mess with it. Well, until the rain comes, appreciate y'all stopping by and helping the old guy out. But until the kitty crew, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, old Mr. Gray, and sometimes Heathcliff and Little Gracie too. See y'all on that next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe. And God bless you as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Whew, I'm glad they all came by. Hey, some of you grab the hand pruners. Some get that reciprocating saw. I'll get the other one, lay a cord. We'll get this all chopped up, piled up. Get on in time for lunch. What do y'all say? Good plan, huh? Let's make it happen. Well, y'all, the rain has run us in a time or two today, but we haven't let us stop it. Nope. Yeah, with the help of the kitty crew and all of y'all's help too, and of course those two tools, those two necessary words in life, we've got her pretty much done. We got her all cut down, all cut up, stacked up on the new burn pile, maybe for this weekend. And the area's not totally done. But what we want accomplished is, and we couldn't have done it, we couldn't even got started without the determination to start and the perseverance over the last 2 days to continue on. And we'll continue on again. The rain stops and there's always tomorrow. Oops, we better get in now. That was close. Later all.